The year is 2077. Cities gleam with chrome and neon. Flying vehicles hum through designated skylanes. Below, life is a different story. It's a world dominated by omnipresent corporations. Biosynth Corp and NeuroCorp rule the roost. They promised a better future. They delivered something else entirely. At the heart of this new age is the Neuralink Nexus chip. Implanted at birth, it's your key to society, your connection to everything and everyone. It's non-negotiable. Progress, they called it, a mandatory upgrade to humanity. The Neuralink Nexus chip was sold as a revolution. Instant knowledge, seamless communication, enhanced abilities. Think of a skill, download it, want to speak Mandarin, done in minutes. Need to understand quantum physics for a job interview. The data streams right in. It made life easier, more efficient. People could learn faster, work harder, experience more, or so the brochures claimed, but every connection has a price. The Neuralink didn't just transmit data outwards, it also sent data inwards. Every thought, every fleeting emotion, every memory, all logged, all analyzed, by the corporations, of course, for quality assurance, for service improvement. The wonders of biotechnology didn't stop at neural implants. Biosynth Corp perfected synthetic organs, livers, hearts, lungs, kidneys that never failed, pancreases that always produced the right amount of insulin, grown in labs, perfectly compatible, no more waiting lists, no more tissue rejection. Disease could be cured, old age could be managed. A new era of longevity dawned. People could live longer, healthier lives, provided, of course, they could afford the subscription. Because these life-saving organs weren't sold, they were rented. A monthly payment plan for your continued existence. This subscription model was ingenious, for the corporations anyway. Your heart beats, your lungs inflate, your kidneys filter. All thanks to Biosynth's patented technology. And every month the bill arrives. Miss a payment? The reminders start. Polite at first, then more insistent. The terms and conditions, buried deep in the digital contract everyone scrolled past, were quite clear. These organs remained the property of Biosynth Corp. When warnings and payment demands failed, the next phase began. Biosynth Corp had a dedicated department for such eventualities. They weren't called debt collectors. That sounded too vulgar, too old-fashioned. They were asset retrieval specialists. Or, as they were known on the streets, the reclaimers, clinical, efficient, dressed in sterile, unmarked uniforms. They moved with a chilling quietness. They weren't there to negotiate, they weren't there to offer payment plans. They were there to execute the terms of the contract, to reclaim company property. Their arrival was never a surprise, yet always a shock. The process was swift and deeply impersonal. The reclaimers carried specialized equipment. Devices that could deactivate and remove biosynth organs with minimal fuss, and minimal concern for the subscriber. You'd receive a final notification, usually a cold automated message on your Neuralink. Your biosynth heart, serial number XG734B subscription is overdue. Asset retrieval will commence in T-minus 60 minutes. Then they would arrive. No sirens, no drama, just a quiet knock, or sometimes no knock at all. They had access codes, they had schematics of your home. Resistance was futile, and often fatal. For those facing imminent repossession, there was one final desperate option: mind uploading. Born into debt, a life on layaway. The cycle began at birth, or even before. Prenatal genetic screening, mandatory of course, identified potential future health risks, predispositions to heart conditions, likelihood of kidney failure in middle age. This wasn't for the parents' peace of mind, it was for Biosynth's long-term financial planning. The moment a child drew its first breath, a Neuralink Nexus chip was implanted, standard procedure, and with it, the first accounts were opened. Often preemptive subscriptions for organs they might need decades down the line, a little deposit on a future liver, a payment plan for a heart they hadn't yet strained. Parents, already burdened with their own subscriptions, now carried the debt of their children. The joy of new life, tinged with the cold reality of new bills. Generational debt became the norm. Freedom, the ultimate premium feature. In this meticulously managed world, what did freedom even mean? Every thought could be monitored. Every organ could be repossessed. Your very consciousness could be uploaded and archived, another asset in a corporate database. The Neuralink Nexus, once hailed as a tool of empowerment, became the ultimate chain. It connected you to a vast network of information and services, yes, but it also tethered you to the corporations that owned that network. Your digital leash was comfortable, convenient, and utterly inescapable. The illusion of choice was carefully maintained, but it was an illusion nonetheless. You could choose your service provider, as long as it was Biosynth or one of its approved partners. You could choose your digital afterlife package with NeuroCorp. But true autonomy, the ability to opt out, that was a fantasy. The system was designed to be all-encompassing, to be essential, to be life itself. To question it was to risk everything, your health, your livelihood, your very existence. The corporations weren't malevolent overlords in the traditional sense, they were simply businesses, maximizing profit, minimizing risk, and humanity was their most valuable and most exploitable resource. Were there those who resisted? Of course. Small pockets of off-gridders, people who refused the chip. Control doesn't need violence, it grows quietly, through trust and dependence. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a future that's already being built, piece by piece, chip by chip.